Gujju's and motel business in America. When I came to this country in America, I heard that Patels are in motel business, and I was so glamorized by that fact. And I knew I mean, oh my God, Gujju's by models. I made Gujju friends, but I couldn't understand one thing: they never seemed to be rich. I used to feel that they're not very rich looking. So I'll talk about motels and their returns and how I'll tell you, you guys should never be glamorized by motel business, just like that. Motel business. Motel means, in America, restaurant means place where people go to eat, restaurant. Where people go to live for a night or multiple nights, whatever, that's motel. And hotel is usually bigger, like proper hotel. Like motel has no facilities other than just a place to live. Hotel may be having a small swimming pool, a small this, a small kitchen area, a small cafeteria, things like that. Those are usually hotels. They have a gym. Motel doesn't have all these facilities. Hotels are having all these facilities. Resorts are where they have activity center and it's like huge pools and all kinds of infrastructure. Even a lot of restaurants in there and facility to to accommodate a lot of people, and people stay there for 7 days and things like that. Like a lot of they're vacation places, right? I'm not about motels here. Typically, a motel would be having 500,000, 700,000, 900,000, 1.1 million, like this kind of revenue, right? And I always say that you should buy a hotel only when its revenue is more than 2.5 million, right? So those are all definitely, that by definition, those are all hotels. Now let's come back to our discussion wherein we are going to discuss motels. Motels owned by Gujjus. So I'll tell you something very interesting, few facts. I have made a lot of friends over the years. I met Tamilian friends, Tamilian Brahmin friends, regular Maharashtrian friends and Maharashtrian Brahmin friends, Bengali friends, MP friends, Uttar Pradesh friends, Kannadiga friends, AP, lot of AP friends. Within AP, there are Telangana and AP separate, right? Right now they're separate. Telangana friends, AP friends. I met Punjabi friends. I have made Delhi friends, Delhi guys friends, and I have made all kinds of friends. Okay, and I'll tell you, like, just I don't know. Somehow this video seems to seem this video. I'll talk about actually this thing later, but I'll tell you something very interesting. But Gujaratis are little less. Yes, this is a general statement, and you don't. I'm not racist. I am giving you rules so that you can identify the right talent for you. Gujaratis are usually, yes, I'm telling you for a fact, in general. Do you see any Gujarati topper in 10th class, in 12th class, in management, in IS, IPS, in this thing? Their IQ is a little low. Generally speaking, I've met a lot of Gujarati friends that they can't understand simple things sometimes. They can't follow that simple discussion. They're never intellectual. When they get, and for many reasons, for many years back, they started migrating out of this Gujarat because they were not intelligent, whatever they were, and they basically came out of the country, and then they got settled in these areas. So you will see a lot of Gujaratis everywhere. Gujaratis are the number one people in America, right? In terms of out of all the Indians, Gujaratis, Punjabis, Telugus, Gujaratis are number one, Telugus are number two, and Punjabis is number one in terms of the total number of people that are in America. And in UK also, and in everywhere. Pretty much Gujaratis are number one. So you hear stories, Gujaratis are great businessmen, right? In America, right? So because they're in motel and all that. I'll tell you one thing. Here in this country, even if you are class 4 or class 3, class 2 with no IQ, you will all rise to $12,000 a month. And you cannot do anything else, like you cannot own a corporation, you cannot run a corporation, $100 million company or $20 million company, because that requires brain here. Remember I said the Indian corporations don't require brain, they require goon and criminal behavior and all that stuff. Here you need brains. One in 10,000 make it, not a great odd for you. So I always say that you will end up living a middle managed lifestyle. I told several times, I'm again repeating. So I'm not glamorizing that lifestyle, which 0.01% live, but still you should know that to be at that stage, you need to have brains here. So Gujarat, you will not see very many Gujaratis in good places in America. The only choice they have is do the menial activities. When they do menial activities, this is a typical thing in America. If you do any kind of menial activity, you are working as a waiter, you can easily have so much money that you can open your own restaurant. So, but that will not give you a great lifestyle. That will give you $12,000 per month per person lifestyle. Clear? Motel is no exception. In motel also they make this kind of money. The entire family, 4 people are doing it, and they are making maybe $20,000 per family. Not so they don't achieve the 12,000 mark also per person, right? So they may be achieving 20,000 and they're very happy in it. It's a lot of money actually. If you are ready to do all the work yourself. And by the way, in motel, how they achieve it is they live in a small crowd, place, crunch space, and then they basically live there. And it's a 40-room motel or 50-room motel, 60-room motel or 70-room motel. And they are managing it, and they are the managing means they're not just managing it, they're cleaning everything. Every day they clean the hotel rooms. Every day they do all the work that is needed to be done, all the entire family, and that's how they raise their family. Please remember, their families have a dream that the guy will become IT engineer one day. So is the case with Punjabi guys who have gas stations. So is the case with Punjabi guys who have pizza stores. So is the case with Punjabi guys who have liquor stores. They believe that IT job is much better option. And it is, because in stores, in convenience stores, 7-Eleven and all these things, first of all, these are very dangerous places to work. Motel is also a very dangerous place to work. Really appropriate for low IQ Gujaratis. That's the right way to go. So they say Gujaratis help each other. They probably do, and that's how they all end up owning hotels and motels. And I want to start such some association alliance like that, where everybody achieves the 12,000 mark very fast, and even more. I have ideas to make even more money, and they should reach those marks very fast. I want to start an alliance for North Indians, for Hindi people. Doesn't matter. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but still. Coming back to our discussion, Gujarati people help each other, but all they reach is, because of their low IQ, they always reach this 12,000 mark. They never reach some big one. You will not see too many Gujaratis who are making $20 million a year, $10 million a year. Sometimes in hotel, we'll see one guy who's some brains out of them. He'll be making some good money, but in general, these guys are not having any brains, and they make good money. And motel, please remember, is a very labor intensive, risky business. It's risky also, because if there is a leak in the room, then there is a lot of repair. Remember, anything which relates to structure in America, it involves a lot of work. Always remember that. It involves a lot of work. Room, water, electricity, this, that, everything has to be fixed, right? That's why if you go to these motels, sometimes they're very shabby. They're very dirty. Why they're dirty is because to keep them well, to keep them up to date, it requires a lot of money and intense understanding of how electricity works, how plumbing works. If you don't have the knowledge, you'll have to spend a lot of money to get the specialist. So you have to learn it yourself, and then you have to do all the work yourself. You got my point? You learn everything, but then it's 2-3 hour activity to fix the plumbing pipe, right? So you have to do all that. So if you don't do all that, then you will not be able to understand. They have enough IQ to understand how plumbing works, and these are all simple things. Anybody can learn. So the point is, these guys just make very little money, and I'm really warning Gaurav Singla of 2006 and 7, who used to fantasize about owning a hotel. And Gaurav Singla, who was a friend, I had a Gujarati friend who introduced me to a friend who was owning motels. In 2013 and 2014, I'm warning that Gaurav Singla also, never look at motels. Motels should not be owned. IT career is better. You and your wife, rich dad, poor dad guy is wrong. You cannot just own all these arbitrary businesses thinking I'm making an asset. You are not making any asset. It's depreciating asset. Yes, it's depreciating asset. Remember, real estate, the whole thing is real estate, right? In this, there is nothing else, right? It's real estate, right? 80% is of the 85% is of the structure, 15% is the plot, right? If you have to redo everything, you have to demolish, and you have to consider the cost of demolition also. So redoing, I told several times in my real estate videos. So owning a motel is a poor choice. You should never do that. You and your wife and your kids will end up becoming laborers, and you'll be working on lesser earning potential than an IT engineer. And remember, in my hierarchy, motels come after IT engineers. They come above some of the other small businesses like cleaning business and all that, but they're below IT engineers in that hierarchy. So please remember, you should never ever think about owning a motel. Get it out of your mind. Get it out of your mind. Get it out of your mind. Some people believe that, let's say they buy a motel and they will hire a family to do the work. Yes, you can find a family. Yes, it is possible. But when the family is not there, who will do the work? You, your wife, your kids. You need to understand, you are the ultimate backup. What if after 4-5 years that family will make enough money, and then they will also buy their own motel, which is fine. They should keep going. What will happen to you? You are having 40-year thingy, 40-year lease, right? 40-year loan. What will you do after 5 years? So you have to be ready to be able to work yourself. You, your wife, your kids. Can you do that? Can you do that in a gas station? Can you do that on a subway? There are risky places. I mean, look at the shootings that happened to a convenience store guy was killed a few days back. Gas station workers were killed a few days back. A store worker was killed a few days back. Motel worker was shown a gun a few days back. Every day you hear all these stories. Okay? Motel is a very risky place. Druggists come there. Criminal people come there. Murderers come there. Yes, you have to deal with all that. So okay. So please remember, sir, these are risky businesses, not appropriate for IT engineers. I did not know that when I first came here, and I used to be glamorized by this. That's the reason I'm warning everybody who's in America never to fantasize about owning a motel. Okay? Never to fantasize. Okay, never ever fantasize that, okay, I'll own a motel. Motel is not a great business to own, okay? Just being very clear. And Gujaratis, because of their low IQ, they would have nothing else to do. Everybody's found something. Mexicans, Iranis have found auto franchises. Punjabis have found gas stations. Gujaratis have found motels. Many other ethnicity people have found something else. Telugus. I'll make a video about my understanding of ethnicities of India and their intelligence level. Okay. Anyway, the point is, so never ever, guys who are coming here, do not think of buying a motel. Do not think of buying a restaurant. Do not think of owning a dry cleaning business. Do not think of buying any of these things. These are labor intensive. They don't make you much money. You will be making less money than IT engineers. You'll be living a middle minus lifestyle. No, not middle minus. You'll live middle minus plus labor lifestyle. At home, you will be middle minus. In the office, in the workplace, you will be labor. These are labor intensive work, and you'll have to do all this, and then you won't be making a lot of money. Yes, you will be able to afford everything that IT engineers does because you make a little less than him, but you can afford a lot of things, which is not a big deal. So, I remember I told in so many videos that there is only 19 ka farak between 20 a person who's making, there's very little difference between person who's making 150k or 100k and a person who's making 600k. These motel people, they become smart in doing so many things at home. At home, they can do so many things on their own: plumbing, electricity, this, that, fixing leaks, fixing this thing. So they are able to save a lot of money. Their lifestyle is also similar to IT engineers. Everybody makes, I told you so many times that everybody is able to have a similar lifestyle in America. At home, in office, in the workplace, they're living a dangerous lifestyle. IT engineers have a very good lifestyle, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, perfect life. Okay, spend time with the kids, spend time on the Saturday, Sunday. Rich Dad Poor Dad makes fun of these guys. He's wrong. You're not creating any asset by buying this thing. He will tomorrow, when you ask him, you really interrogate him, they'll say, yeah, I'm asking him to buy assets. You'll be like, okay, so should I buy a motel? He said, no, it's not an asset. He will tomorrow tell it to you guys. If you interrogate, if you don't ask any question, then you will assume that, okay, assets are, these are assets, and then you end up buying. Okay, these are not the assets to be bought. I'm telling you again and again. Motels, restaurants, dry cleaning business, these are all stupid labor intensive businesses. And you're basically paid your hourly wage to be standing there. 7-Eleven, gas stations. These are for people who are not very educated. This is among them. 2 out of 10 can easily buy these things, and they keep going in their life, and they easily buy these things on their own. Please remember, this is good for them, but not good for you. IT engineers' life, salaries, everything is lifestyle. Everything is much better than these guys. Okay, and if you are having a white collar job like a bank, you are working in a bank, it's only you who is not within your job. You can work harder and you can get into IT, right? I told you several times. I've made videos like that. So please understand, people who are new here, this is a warning for you guys. You should know that. Many people do not know that, and they are good in English, they are good in everything, and they, instead of getting into IT, they sometimes think of owning a motel. That's a stupid thing to do. Okay. Alright guys, I think I've done this. I've really repeated the same thing 3-4 times just to make sure that you guys follow this. Okay, motels, big no. Okay, motels, big no. Thank you guys.